You came back. Welcome back. Yeah, well, we've got a couple more days of good weather. But I gotta get on with this, so get on we will. So yeah, we're putting the 2x6 strapping on, or no, these aren't strapping. The 2x4s are strapping. Rafters, 2x6 rafters, because there's joists, rafters, and then the strapping. So yeah, I'm hoping to get all the 2x6s on this one over the next few days. And then once it kind of chills up a little bit, I can get the strapping and then get all the walls up. So next time I'm in town, I'm going to go and get a flat of the rough cut 2x6s for the back walls and the side walls. So yeah, that's where we're at. And yeah, so thanks for clicking on the video. Bad news is the old gammy cow that went down and she was back up on her feet in the last video, she's gone back down again. She was laid out by the silage feeders, so that wasn't great. So I've got her on a pad out at the corner there, but it's not looking good, so. Okay. It's starting to get cooler. You can feel it. The humidity, and it feels colder, and we haven't seen the sun. Yes. The water still isn't freezing up yet though, but. Okay. Let's get at her. It has begun. And the ironic part is, that's only the back axle section. Yeah. Already found out there was a rubber hanger missing on this truck. Bizarre. There's an exhaust pipe. Just pointing her straight up into the clouds. It's just my piece of pipe that I saved from the other farm. This is the stuff that they use to make the convey air system for the grain by the dryer. So it was some spare stuff, and I keep it from making exhausts. This is a piece of an exhaust that I was making many years ago for one of the work trucks. And yes, it was going to be a set of box pipes. Yeah, back in those days, I was going to make some Aussie cut box pipes. Now, you're safe. I'm not going to use it on this truck. What I am going to be using is part of the bend, because I need a kick out to come out the side. Because I'm not going over the back axle. I'm not monkeying around with that stuff. And I'm not retrofitting, like using that added onto this. Because I want to keep the stock exhaust system. That's why I'm taking it apart bit by bit. Taping up all the connections, which there's many. As you can see, there's a bucket holding up the center section, because the center section has to come out as one, because it's very hard to take it apart because the nuts get all rusty. Yes, it's barely a 9-year-old truck and everything is already rusted up. But then again, it's under there, so there's that. So it's pretty well ready to unhook the rubbers and drop it down and then undo the last connections. Because basically, there's my wee tub. I've got my oil diesel mix stuff, so I paint that on the pins. That helps get the rubbers off without too much of a fight. But that's me done for the night. I am tired. I am covered in dust. Be great about a hoist. Yes, that's what that orange thing is over there, and it's a 10,000 pound hoist. Rated for these, but yeah, it's not up yet. Okay, so. Then there's that. Yeah. We knew it was coming back. Coming back with a vengeance. It is. At least I didn't do any bedding today. Made sure everyone got all their food though. Yeah. Yes, we're back to frump snow. Oh, yeah. Oh, and by the way, The reason I didn't do much filming today, the old cow that had gone down and we got her back up. Why is her tracks there? I thought that was the dog. Mrs. Piper Doug said she saw a big coyote today. Well, he might be busy for a while. The old cow that had gone down and got back up again, and then I'd said to you guys she'd gone down again. Yeah, we had to put her down today. There was just no way she was coming back. And knowing that this weather was about to turn bad again, I figured there was no point in prolonging it. So yeah, sucky suck. Anyway, I'm away in from my pottage. Yeah, we've already got about 4 inches so far. Calling for upwards of a foot, so there's that. Well, we're past half a foot. Yeah. There's some happy campers. Pretty sure they're glad they don't have to go outside today. The snow has stopped, but she is blowing. And they're still a bit damp from being mild. So yeah, they are cold. I don't know why they're shoving down. There's still lots of room still around. They do this for a while where they joggle. Nice to see them all in. They're not shut in yet though. They won't be shut in until next week, so. There we go. It's kind of hard to see through the shine. Happy campers. Do a quick first pass, that way I get to the other end so they're not fighting each other. So you do a quick dusting, that's why it looks not like a big pile. So yeah, I've still got a bunch still in there. It's always nice when you see them stretched out like this. Versus around the tire feeders, you can't really get a good look at them. And the nice thing is once you start feed railing them, then I can do the walk along. So first walk along we go back and check, get all the ear tags written down, so that way we know who's missing tags come calving season. And then we can start doing the back end walking, that way we can start gauging timelines, but that's not as important right now because we know we're still at least another close to 2 weeks out, so nice. I can't. It's just best just to show you. So there's your DPF catalytic EGR particulate filter regen thing. Yeah, if you want to know what about $10,000 to $12,000 worth of exhaust pipe looks like, and that's only the middle part. So there's your tail section. There's the butt pipe. So then you got a connector there, and you got this piece here which has these fancy brackets on it. So that's worth a whole bunch of money. You got a mounting bracket there. So then you've got connection, sensor, 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 sensor. I'm trying to see if there's a wire somewhere that I'm missing here. There, yeah. There's a sensor there and there's a wire that goes on there. So then we have the spray mounted wire connection there. We have a sensor with wire connection there. We have another sensor with wire connection here. Then here's the portal to the sensor there. I told you. I can't. There's still a sensor that's attached to the front part of the exhaust. Now that, as far as I know right now, I'm not taking the front part off. So the front part is from the turbo down. There's a flex pipe to the elbow. Then there's a sensor, and then there's the flat plate that takes this. So there's a sensor about here, and then there's a flex pipe here up to the turbo. So for now, that's staying there because that is a 4-inch down pipe. So my plan is to recreate that piece of plate that will fit to this because that's a 4-inch flange. So I'm just going to make a piece that'll add to part of this. So basically, I'm making, what is that? 7.5 feet, 7 feet. So yeah, I just need a piece of it 7 feet. And then I can make my kick out off of those box stacks. So yeah, I just need to make up a plate flange to add to this. And then we will start making up hangers. Because that's going to be the interesting part, because there's a lot of hangers on this. As you can tell, some of them weren't even being used. But yeah, some of them are part of the frame. These are the ones that could come out, and there's a couple still under there. So there you go. That thing was probably somewhere between 200 to 220 pounds. Maybe 250. I wouldn't say it was any more than that. Just for that part, and then you got another 50, 60 pounds for that part, or 80, whatever. So yeah, there's 300 and something pounds just in the exhaust there. And like I said, there's about $12,000 right there. So, like I said, I'm not cutting this up. I am going to clean this stuff up, tape up the connections, and just stick it in the corner, out of the way. Kind of like I did with the other truck stuff. And then I'm going to go under there while I'm taping up these connections. I've got to remember to put these locks in. Tape these connections up. I'm going to go under there, tape all those well, I've got to blow them out. Tape all those connections up, and then we'll start exhaust mock-up. Oh, that's all I'm doing. I just wanted to get that done so I could get all my gear in the laundry tonight. Mrs. Piper Doug is storm stayed in Brandon at her mum's house, which is for the best. The snow has stopped, but it is blowing like a bugger. So I'm going to go out, give a couple more bales to the ladies, and then I'm going to go and stick all this gear in the laundry and go and have a shower because I've had it's amazing how much gravel and dirt falls out from underneath the truck. You think it would stop eventually? No, it never stops. It never stops. So yeah, I gotta go have a dicht. Okay, we'll see you tomorrow. My, how clear that glass is. Yeah. Door's not on. Don't worry. It did not break. Per se. I'd put screws in the top half of the window to just to make sure, until I could figure out what I was doing with the glass. And well, that glass seems to be doing quite well. Problem being, along the bottom there, I think it's where the moisture settles down, it's getting through the carpet tape. So the bottom of the plastic has come loose and it was starting to do a little flapping. So I didn't want to risk it. Hey squishers! So I took it off and I'm going to run a whole bunch more screws into it in the workshop. It is lovely today, it's actually melting. I think we're like 0+1 maybe. Just got one more pen to bed before we get into setting up the big pens. Yeah, they're happy. So yeah, I just wanted to do it in the workshop. So that'll be one of, I think, tonight's projects between that and starting the exhaust. So yeah, I just thought I'd give you the update on the door. If you want any more clear of a picture of what this weather yo-yo has done, yeah, there's 2 and 3 foot drifts up through the bale yard on top of this. The whole thing. The whole thing has got about 1/4 inch of ice everywhere. Yeah, should be putting screws in this thing. So yeah, I've got all this snow to move before we can haul these bales out. Well, Billy can come and get them. And then I've got a huge drift at the end of the bale yard here because the grader driver, even though he had to turn, didn't just pull up and just shove that out of the way. Come on, grader driver. So at some point I'm going to, I think it's Cancade in Brandon, and getting 2 skid steer blanks, the mounting brackets, one for that. I'm hoping the skid steer will be able to push that. If not, I'll end up having to put those ice screws into the tracks, because that skid steer is almost useless on this ice. And it makes it worse because it just polishes it even shinier. Anyway, I'm going to try and not go and break my spleen. Yeah, I know I don't have the exhaust built on it yet, but I have to move the truck out. You'll find out why, but... I know it's childish, but it's fun. Well, getting on. Back in the shop. Here is the center section cut to size. So 8 feet is just a little bit more than I need. Don't compare it to that, because the length of that has no bearing on this, because this gets to a certain point and then there's like a 45 and then side pipe, which will be made out of that, like I said in the previous clip, the set of box stacks that I was building years ago. So what I've been doing is making a template. So did the old set it up, hammer till the bolts went through, and then rubbed a bunch of soot around the edge, and believe you me, there is a lot. Once you, there's actually a little pile in the base of the pipe. Yeah, like I said, there's a lot of soot in there. So I can only imagine what the rest of it's like. So that gives me the bolt pattern and the actual flange area. And then it gives me the location of the hole. And I'm pretty sure I have a 4-inch hole saw. And then I have another lovely piece of a 1/4-inch plate. A 3/8 pulley would have been nicer to try and recreate that. But I'm working with what I got. And I'm thinking, without having all of this hanging from it, don't really need that thickness of plate. So when it hangs on that, underneath that truck. Truck shrunk. Huh. So when, so this is Mrs. Piper Doug's spaceship. 2024 Kona. Yeah, we got this, well, you guys will know because it was in the video. Right at the end of the year, so it was fresh off the train, off the boat, off the whatever, shipping container. To the point where they didn't even have the little mudguardy guys, which was that. Like that's what they were waiting on, was that. Which seems redonkulous. So, it's quite the spaceship. Yeah. There's the dashboard. Like, the black area, it's not just you can't see into the cluster. That is the screen. Yeah. It's a screen, touch screen from one side to the other. So yeah, Piper Doug does not drive this machine because it is a spaceship. It has lights and lasers and stuff. So, tail light, the high level marker, headlights, So yeah, it's fancy, very fancy. Oh yeah, so going back, yeah I know, it's everywhere. Going back to when I said that we were having trouble with this. So here's the skinny dip. So they don't have a winter front for these cars yet. And so what they've said is to combat cold air, and I'm thinking they're not thinking of -40, these things open and close. It kind of goes, beep, beep, the little kind of louvery thing. So that's supposed to limit the cold air going straight in towards the turbo cooler. If you'll notice something, yeah, that's the same thing that these are trying to stop. That's gaping wide open there. And what's this? Oh yeah, big gaping cake hole down here too. Yeah, that thing. Because I'm gonna do something that I can't do. See? You can make that out. Yeah, it's open. So, yeah, Hyundai, your engineers are not the sharpest there, are they? So anybody with a 3D printer, you could stand to make a whole cajillion amounts of money. Print up inserts for there, and for there. They just clip in. That one there, you might need to make up some sort of a popper for there, and there. And then that still leaves these to open and close when needed. So yeah, what's the issue? You get to -40 and you're running into a headwind, it flash cools the air going into the engine and it stalls out. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to making this. Well, that's per usual. Got some bedding done and it's snowing. Maybe wherever you are and you need moisture, I'll just come there and do bedding. And then you'll get snow. Maybe that's what I'll do in the summertime after we take the hay off. I'll do some bedding and I'll make it rain or snow. So, cows are shut in. It is only the 10th of February, but because the weather is so up and down and in and out and snow drifts and just crappy, I thought, well, why wait another 4 days? Let's just bring them in. They're liking eating out of the feed rail, so yeah. Hey, Squirch. Yeah, they're quite content. Getting quite round, some of them. Mama Flops. April, Little Aggie, Jade, Mark's mum. Anyway, back to pushing snow. It's a big hole saw. It's a lot to hold on to. But it makes a nice hole, especially if your plasma cutter doesn't work for the exhaust pipe. I give up. Yeah, I'm just doing the rough out cut, and then I'm gonna do the final drill for the bolt holes, and then we'll do the final cut, and then it'll be grinding. Nice arrowhead, eh?